Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember? So you don't have to. We've seen Disney rely on lazily developed cash cows for a while. While they can innovate with groundbreaking entertainment, they can also coast with easy, fast cookie-cutter media. In the past, it's been awkward teen movies. More recently, it's been the live-action remakes. And of course, we all remember the direct-to-video sequels. The films nobody asked for, yet everybody watched. Disney was great at taking Happily Ever After and asking, hey, what if that was only part 1? Most of these were pretty bad, yet made a ton of money. So much so that 2 films originally meant to be straight-to-video were given big screen releases. Jungle Book 2, Mowgli's Killing Spree. Oh wait, that's the book, seriously, y'all need to read it! And Return to Neverland. It was ripped apart by critics, equally hated by audiences, and I think it's okay. Released in 2002, almost 50 years after the original, Return to Neverland admittedly doesn't need to exist, but for a film that's entirely pointless, I found it kind of charming. I don't know, maybe I'm just comparing it to the other awful sequels that came out, but it's not afraid to be aggressively harsh at times. It continues the story while also bringing us sections of the book that were left out of the first version. And the animation is beautiful, particularly at a time when Disney was phasing out its hand-drawn films. Nah, I don't see it as great. There's certainly moments where it stumbles, and for a sequel made half a century later, it could have been more grand. But I thought it captured the spirit of the original book and play pretty well. I do wish it would go further, like what the Fox show did in the 90s, still waiting for a digital release Disney. But for no doubt the limitations Disney must have given to this, I think it turned out an okay flick. What makes me give this sequel a pass and others? The Boo Box. Well, let's fly on in. This is Return to Neverland. The intro already starts off pretty cool with some beautiful clouds above London showing us silhouettes of the previous film. And this already feels more visually creative than other nostalgic callbacks like...
When you take on the responsibility, great power will come.
I also like the reveal Peter is a little less creepy than the original that looks like a horror film from Neon Pictures.
The story always ends the same. Peter Pan shouts,
"Keep the mouse away from my IP!" Wendy grows up, played by Kath Soucie, and has a family of her own, along with a son named Danny and a daughter named Jane, played by Harriet Owen.
The second star to the right.
Oh, you just lost a second star right there with that pop song. Yeah, that's sadly one of the most jarring things about this sequel. The songs aren't timeless like the original, but rather the most 2002 thing you can get.
The second star to the right.
The only soundtrack more 2002 would be Britney Spears' movie Crossroads. And the only reason I say that is because it beat this movie at the box office. So going that direction didn't work anyway.
To tell you that the dreams you plan.
I also like Peter Pan gets top billing, as if he's gonna be in other 2002 movies like Rollerball or Star Trek Nemesis.
our story begins in difficult times.
Disney in 2023. Actually, this takes place during World War II. Huh, should have gone with Wind Talkers on that last joke. As Jane's father is drafted, having to leave his family behind.
I want to go with you.
I need you here to take care of your mom and Danny. Can you do that for me?
When there's a smile in your cherry. Yeah, not even 5 minutes in and we're already in the Disney version of The Pianist. I give credit they're going this dark this early. However, the same care doesn't always transfer to the characters' names.
What is it, Nana 2?
Nana 2? That's some Belle's Magical World writing there. What was Jane's original name? Wendy Jr.?
All right, now here we go into the bomb shelter.
Sorry, I have to respect a Peter Pan movie that has the line, "into the bomb shelter."
I don't like planes and bombs.
For a moment, it sounded like cannons. On a pirate ship.
Oh, great. Now I'm scared of pirates. You are terrible at this.
Jane makes it home alive. Again, I have to start off a Peter Pan movie clarifying that. And she tries listening to the radio while Wendy tries to distract her son with stories of Peter Pan.
Hook will never win as long as there's faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Ah, so long, you old cunt!
Hey, what's this rated? The explosions go quiet, but Wendy is told her children have to be put on a train to send them away from the bombings in London.
Where? All the children are being evacuated to the country. But you'll be safe there, both of you.
I even hear 1 in 5 houses have magic wardrobes that take you on adventures even more scarring than World War II London.
Peter Pan isn't
real and people don't fly.
She's told to keep telling Danny stories of Peter Pan, but war has forced Jane to grow up faster than she expected.
You must have faith.
Faith? Trust pixie dust? Mother, those are just words from your stories. They don't mean anything.
You were the leader of a resistance. You know how stressful it is.
This is honestly a well-played emotional moment ruined by, you guessed it, the out-of-nowhere lame-ass pop song.
I try.
Oh, don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. I feel like Phil Collins would have done this better. But only because he would have elevated from dumb to stupid. And sure, the original has songs that aren't sung by the characters either, but sing me one song from this movie right now. Don't even think about it. You can't do it, but the other, Following the Lead, or When There's a Smile in Your Heart, they're just better! But Jane's ship comes in as Captain Hook and his pirates mistake her for Wendy and kidnap her.
My apologies, miss.
Seeing how the original voice of Smee was also the same guy who played the Ranger in the Humphrey the Bear cartoons, I kinda wanna hear him go,
First you make the snag, put her in the bag. Bum, bum.
do I even need to say why this scene is awesome? It could have just cut from them throwing her on the ship and making their way to the star. But they go out of their way to give us some really cool animation where you really feel the weight and size of this ship flying over London. If the original flying over London scene was magical and enchanting, then this is destructive and beautifully chaotic. It's a short moment, but it is so cool, I don't think it gets enough attention. They're teleported to Neverland using some of Mary Blair's original design from the first film, that's a nice touch. And Hook plans to use Jane as bait to lure Peter Pan. And to be fair, it does work. Oh, and for some reason the crocodile's replaced with an octopus in this one. I don't really know why some of the funniest animation of all time has come from that character. And I don't know, tentacles just aren't that funny. They're other things to other people, I guess, but that just makes me look at this more suspiciously. Oh, the crocodile bought me dinner first. As Corey Burton as Hook and Blayne Weaver as Pan, and honestly most of the replacement actors do a good job recreating the sound and charm of the original characters.
Well, if you're Wendy's daughter, you're gonna love it here!
Touch the rainbow, mother! Yeah, that doesn't work as good. Fly past this portion as fast as you can, no time to see anyone, they're all just somewhere else, feeding their cats. Oh, god damn it.
Shanghai, Hong Kong, ik fu yang.
She did that on purpose.
She's just jealous. All girls get like that around me.
Anyone else feel like Peter grew up into Gaston? He takes her to his hideout and introduces her to the Lost Boys.
Slightly!
Nibs.
The twins!
Our individual names are Nana 3 and Nana 4.
Gubby. And that's Toodles!
I like they got actual kids to voice the Lost Boys, as the originals did sound like Patrick the Starfish half the time.
A terrible what?
Wendy Bird!
Wendy bird!
I also like they play around with Neverland wiping your memory a little bit more in this one, as Jane is not even there for a few minutes and she already has trouble remembering her brother.
You remind me of someone I know.
The animal skin, the human face, the random attacking of a girl.
She tries to leave with Tinkerbell, unsurprisingly cheering her exit.
I have to get back to my family.
Why?
Because if a certain Reich saw a certain flying ship, they'll probably be stopping here too.
The heart of the movie really is around Jane having both the same yet opposite problem of her mother. They're both forced to grow up too quickly, but unlike Wendy, who valued her youth but learned the importance of maturing, Jane sees the importance of maturing but has trouble valuing her youth.
I just want to go home.
Well, you know, the only way out of here is to fly.
I got some shit that'll make you fly from Neverland to Wonderland. Pan tries to teach Jane to fly, and while the slapstick isn't anything that great, this bit makes me laugh hard. Even Wile E. Coyote would be like, there's internal bleeding there. Hey folks, we're starting YouTube memberships. If you want access to emojis, polls, behind-the-scene videos, and other perks, check out and see if you want to become a member. And I'll be playing Final Fantasy VII every Friday on Twitch. I've never played a Final Fantasy game before, so I'm excited to see what they're like. Hope to see you there. When Jane sees none of them are taking anything seriously, she curses them all, including Tinkerbell, saying she doesn't believe in fairies, instantly making her sick. At first I thought, oh man, we're doing this in the first film again, but then I realized I never did this in the first film. It's one of those moments I Mandela affected in my head. I'm so used to seeing it in every version of Peter Pan, I legit forgot this wasn't in the original Disney movie. And it feels so natural that it should be there. Another bit missing from the first, Hook's manipulation of Wendy, or rather her daughter in this version.
My sources tell me you wish to return home.
I guess we got something similar with Tinkerbell, but because of that, you had to skip the other famous scene of believing in her to restore her life. I mean, how did she survive that with just a pep talk? I know these don't sound like big deals because they're in all the other versions, but these takes on these characters are so iconic. It does make a difference to see it done with this Tinkerbell and this Captain Hook. Hell, even Jane is technically a character from the story, she just makes an appearance at the end. And fittingly, I don't think Hook manipulating this version of Wendy would have worked. She seems too smart and dedicated to Peter. But Jane doesn't even like Peter, and is desperate to get home because she takes the responsibility her father gave her so seriously. For these characters, this legit works. Also, this picture of Hook's mother is spectacular.
Home to my dear sweet mother.
I love it because you have to ask the question, did he dress up like that for the picture to trick her? Or does his mother actually have a mustache and two hooks? Either answer is hilarious.
Peter stole my treasure.
He says Peter took his treasure and the crew would mutiny if they returned home without it.
I guess we're in the same boat.
The same boat? That's it!
How'd he not cut himself while doing that?
That's it!
He makes a deal that if she helps him find his treasure, he'll help her get home. Granted, I'm not sure why he can't just sneak up on their hideout again. It doesn't look like they moved, and for that matter, who the hell did they hang recently?
If we don't get Jane to believe in fairies, Tink's light's gonna go out.
As Tink starts to fade, Peter thinks restoring Jane's faith and having fun and imagination will get her believing in fairies once more, saving her life. She tells him the game she really wants to play is Treasure Hunt.
Treasure hunt? That's a great idea!
Again, I like the idea the boys are tricking her to save Tink's life while she's tricking them to try and get home. I'm pretty sure there's no characters in Neverland who actually tell the truth. This also leads to the only song actually sung by any of the characters, and
We play, we swing on limbs of trees till we wake up the bees.
you know, maybe there's just not meant to be songs in this movie. I feel bad saying that because apparently They Might Be Giants wrote this song, and I like them a lot. And maybe if they sung it, this would work. But with these kids, you're almost as bad as... Okay, I can't go that far. They lead her to the treasure and even welcome her as their first lost girl.
Now that you're one of us, feel free to sing along. We are so proud.
Yeah, there are pirates in this movie, right? Thank you. We do get that lame-ass liar reveal third act where everybody hates Jane for betraying them and there's a huge misunderstanding and everybody sulks. Two good things about it though is A, it doesn't go on that long, and B, it is kind of worth it for this Captain Hook joke. You see, he made a deal he wouldn't harm a hair on Peter's head.
Ow!
This is the one I won't harm. Here, you keep it.
I love a-holes with loopholes. His laugh is also pretty great.
No one can save him now.
Good God, it's like he screamed at a spider and then found out the spider was funny. When Jane discovers Tink is dying, she quickly finds her and tries to bring her back to life. Again, I'm so used to seeing this character glowing that to suddenly see her not glowing is surprisingly jarring.
Oh no. This is all my fault.
The scene is very effective apart from, you know.
I'll try.
You know those applause signs that go off above a studio audience? This is a, remember sad music makes you cry, not this sad music, but something that sounded like this sad music, please cry. You know the drill though, she believes, that brings her back to life, and they go to save Peter. Admittedly, I am kinda sick of the climax always being on a pirate ship. I mean, Neverland's not Rhode Island, there are places you can go. But it gives Jane an okay arc as she finally learns how to fly. Still easier than flying in Kingdom Hearts. The octopus attack still not being as funny as the crocodile, and man, this originally was meant for home video because we're just an hour in and it's almost over.
Darling, what's wrong? Mummy! What is it? Oh.
They fly back to London and Jane has all sorts of new stories to tell about Peter. Even Daddy returns home.
Daddy!
Okay, it's pretty lame, even though I guess it's not surprising we could all see it coming. However, this I didn't see coming. Young Peter shares a very nice scene with grown-up Wendy.
Wendy?
Hello, Peter.
I'll admit, most of the movie I was kind of on the fence, but this is a scene that pushed me into liking it. I always like stories about someone who aged talking to someone who didn't. And not metaphorically, I mean literally. It's difficult to get across certain life experiences to someone who hasn't gone through them. So one character who has gone through them meeting up with another who hasn't, I find interesting. And even though they don't talk in great length, you can tell they both feel awkward, but also delighted to see the other is comfortable with where they are.
You changed.
Not really.
She helps show him a little bit of maturity by accepting she can grow up, and he helps show that she can still fly because she's filled with childlike happy thoughts. It's a short moment, but it's pretty damn great.
Daddy's home!
Hooray! What'd you bring me?
Scalps. So many scalps. And that was Return to Neverland. Not as good as these, but definitely better than these. I guess I can see how someone wouldn't get into it. It's not really a necessary sequel, nor is it particularly grand or epic. But the callbacks to the classic parts of the story left out of the first one, mixed with just enough spirit and charm, make it an okay watch for me. It's one of those films that easily could have been phoned in like many other Disney sequels, but they put just enough effort into it that I think it earned its big screen release. To me, it's a series of good moments adding up to a good enough flick. Which, okay, doesn't sound like a ton of praise, but those moments really do have a lot of charm and even a little depth to them. It clearly won't win over as many people as the first film did, but it's a valiant attempt to capture at least a little bit of that magic. And when the first film is so magical, capturing even just a little bit of that goes a long way. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, I remember, so you don't have to.
So we wake up the bees.
This month for Cameos for Charity, we're doing Red Cross. Whether it's providing blood, sending in volunteers, helping near or far with disasters big or small, Red Cross provides a number of different ways to save lives. So if you want a cameo of me saying happy birthday or good luck or whatever, click on the link below and be giving to a good cause. Or if you're like, screw you, I can't even look at you, well, consider giving to this organization anyway. You can give money, give blood, or even volunteer. They're amazing people that literally save lives and you can help them out. Click on the link and see if this is a cause you can give to.